winners from the last raw food challenge here too. Maybe they can give us some tips and tricks later on how they won. I think it's live. Yeah. Okay. So let me turn on my camera. I didn't expect everybody to be early now. Hold on. I wasn't expecting that. Okay. Hi, Boo. Hello. Let me make my screen bigger so I can see everybody. Oh, but now I'm dark. Hey, what's up? I don't know who's talking, but oh, hey, Kyle, what's up? All right.
So, how
So,
you doing?
what's up, Boo? All right. So, I'm setting everything up, and thank you so much for being here. We do this every single Monday. Oh, Donna, what's that?
I made a big salad. Actually, I have the bigger bowl, and then just to make it easy, I put some of it in here just to kind of make it more attainable when I eat it, and
Yeah.
spread my dressing correctly. Because sometimes when it's too big, I like to kind of put my disperse my dressing. So this salad has everything you can imagine in it. It has all different kinds of greens. It has onions, it has cabbage, it has shaved cauliflower, really thin cauliflower, because when it's thin, it's not so cumbersome to eat. You could eat so much more of it in your salad when it's really thin.
How do
And
you
then,
shave your cauliflower?
well, shave it, meaning I cut it extremely thin with a knife, and then just kind of chop it, just to make it small pieces instead of huge pieces. So that, I mean, it's bad enough when I eat on here, I see my face, oops, with a big hunk of cauliflower in it. But we're all friends here, amongst
Yeah.
friends, dinner time with Jeannette. And then the dressing, I just wung something together that took me a while to be able to do that. But now I kind of do. Sometimes it doesn't turn out as good, but I put a few tablespoons of hemp seeds in there. I put some red peppers. I put a little bit of jalapeno. I put some garlic powder and onion powder. If I had garlic, I would have used fresh garlic. And then, oh my gosh, you know what? It's crazy. I forgot lemon juice. So I will be dismissing myself. And I knew something tasted off,
Get
but
off
yeah,
this
I forgot the
call.
lemon
You
juice.
forgot the lemon,
Yep,
Donna? Disgrace.
that is
Disgusted and appalled and all the things.
all
What
the
kind of raw
things.
vegan forgets the no, honestly, Donna, that was more food ingredients than I think I've bought all year.
That's my
Like
trick is to try to
that
get a
was a
whole bunch
lot.
of ingredients
That was a lot.
in my
Okay,
dinner.
I eat much more simply. I swear to God, I had watermelon for dinner tonight. Fits the theme. But yeah, so I have to fix my pillows. Ugh, the pillows are not fancy. Okay. So we got to focus here. We are here because we are all embarking on this raw vegan journey. Some of us have been doing it for years. Some of us have been doing it for a few days, few months, and we're all on our journey and we can all learn from each other. And I do this every single week. We just come together every Monday at 7 Eastern Standard Time. Um, and we just talk about, what we're going through. We ask some questions. We share, what we're struggling with. We share something we learned. We're doing a book as well. So at the very, very end, we're going to talk about our book club, which is Return to the Brain of Eden. Amazing book. So I want to just start off real quick by saying a few things. And then if anybody has any questions or anything they're struggling with, then I will address it here. I have seen some questions in the Facebook group, and I will definitely answer those. Um, but before we start, I wanted to let you know that one of the things, and you probably know this already, but I'm just going to share it anyway for the one person that doesn't know. One of the things that you're going to deal with in this month is going to be people asking you if that's too much sugar. Okay. So people are definitely going to ask you, are you sure that's not too much sugar? Are you sure that's healthy? Are you sure? You don't know how many times I have heard, are you sure that's healthy in the last 13 years? I will be eating a big, big salad like Donna. I mean, Donna's smart. She puts the small, that's so smart at a dinner table at like Christmas dinner or a wedding. That's so much smarter to have a smaller bowl, like a normal bowl, and then your actual bowl. And then you just like kind of go back to the kitchen and get more. That's really smart. I like that. Um, at this point in my life, I'm the weirdo and everyone's gonna fucking look at me anyway. Weird. So it doesn't even matter. But in this month, or if you continue this journey, especially if you eat with friends and family, Christmas time, Thanksgiving, they are definitely going to ask you, are you sure that's healthy? Okay, raise your hand if you've heard that before when you're eating a bunch of fruit or a big salad. Are you sure? Okay. So, what I like to say to that, first of all, number one, you cannot take anyone seriously that you don't want to trade places with. That's off the bat. Do not take anyone seriously that doesn't have the health and the body that you desire. You know, I have a chiropractor because I got into a car accident last year and I wasn't driving, but I got into a car accident and I hurt my neck pretty bad. And I started seeing this chiropractor. And of course, you know, I have to share. You know, he sees my phone case. He's like, what's this? He sees me with my, you know, watermelon bag or whatever. And then I have to share that I'm, you know, a raw vegan because everyone needs to know. And then over the sessions, he started like telling me, you know, I don't know if that's healthy. At least, you know, you need eggs, you need fish, you need this. And here's the thing, he's a very nice guy. He's a really, really great guy, amazing chiropractor, but he's over 100 pounds overweight. Like y'all, I'm not going to take advice, and I recommend you don't either. Don't take advice from anyone you don't want to trade places with. Yeah, take what you can from certain people, right? He's an amazing chiropractor. I'm not going to stop going to him because he doesn't know anything about nutrition. But I'm not going to take him seriously. And so that's number one. Don't take them seriously. Don't take their advice. Number two is that it's not personal. Okay, you have to understand that it's like they're seeing an alien. Like, how often do you see somebody eating 10 bananas or 20 oranges or half a watermelon? How often do you see people doing these things? Not very often. On this call, what was that, Ashley? Was that some watermelon? Because, okay, on brand, boo boo. Okay, so now you're not going to see people eating watermelon for dinner or like half a watermelon at a park or at the dinner table. I once bought half a watermelon to a Chinese restaurant. You're not going to see that every day. Okay. But me, I do what I want. I do what I want because it's just, I'm over it, you know? And the thing is that they're going to have questions because they've never seen it before. Whatever is different is not familiar. Whatever's not familiar is not comfortable. And so, what I would recommend is you take the opportunity to practice patience and kindness because honestly, if you have an attitude, if you're mean about it, if you're annoyed, they're not going to like be inspired at all. Okay. So I have learned that when people ask me the regular questions, which I hear every day for 13 years, where do you get your protein? What about B12? Are you sure that's not too much sugar? Blah, 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 blah. I always take a moment to just answer in a really friendly, kind way. You know, just the other day at Whole Foods, someone asked if I was vegan. I guess they saw the fruit and vegetables, but it was very little, but whatever. They saw the fruit and vegetables in my cart and they said, are you vegan? I said, yes, I am. Raw vegan, 13 years. And then they said, what about protein? And then I just let them know very nicely, very kindly. Okay. Just so you know, there's protein in every fruit and vegetable. Every single fruit and vegetable has protein. And we don't need as much protein as they tell us. Just like that. Even though inside, I want to say, what the fuck are you? You don't even fucking care. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You never cared about my protein when I was eating McDonald's. Why do you care about my protein now that I'm eating fruit and vegetables, motherfucker? But this is a stranger, so you know I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to get kicked out of the store. But nobody cares about your protein until you get healthy. Nobody questions your B12 until you start eating healthy. You have to laugh at it. You have to, this month, you gotta laugh at it, okay? Because they don't know anything about nutrition, but out of nowhere, they're going to be concerned about your nutrition. You know, I've had people eating Doritos asking me, am I sure that salad is healthy, having such a big salad? Okay, so the end of that. The last thing I want to say before we get into questions, and if you have questions, you can put them in the chat or you can raise your hand, your virtual hand, okay? Whichever you prefer. So I prefer you raise your hand because the chat gets a little crazy over here. But yeah, the last thing I want to say is that optimism is going to be the driving force that's going to get you through this month. If you are brand new to eating raw, which a few of you are, I know that, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited because the beginning of being raw is the most magical time of your life. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. The beginning month of being raw, okay, is the most incredible feeling you've ever had in your life. It is like you're just floating on a fucking bed of watermelon juice. It is just unbelievable. You are on cloud nine. You have so much energy. Your skin is brighter. Your hair is gonna be shinier. Trust me, if you can make it through the first few days, it's gonna be the most amazing feeling. But you're gonna have to stay optimistic. And sometimes being optimistic is kind of like delusional. Okay. So, like, I understand that some of us are doing this challenge because we want to lose weight or we want to heal a certain disease or we want to, you know, grow our hair or clear our skin. So it's not going to happen overnight, but you have to keep putting one foot in front of the other and you have to be optimistic even when you don't see results for the first few weeks because it didn't take you a few weeks to gain the weight. It's going to take you a little bit more than a few weeks to lose it. But trust me, you keep going, you're making progress even though you don't see it. Trust me. Okay? So that's an affirmation that I say all the time. I'm making progress when I don't see it. I'm making progress even though I don't see it. And yeah, it's kind of like delusional to think that you're going to, be able to eat raw forever. That is delusional, but like the most successful people on earth are delusional. Like think about the people that have created, amazing companies that have become extremely successful. You have to be a little delusional because it's like you don't have proof. You don't have proof of what is to come yet. So it is delusional that I can be running retreats here in Miami for a living. Like I can be running my own retreats. That's delusional. That's crazy. My mom was not an entrepreneur. My family, I grew up poor in Brooklyn, New York. Like there's no way I should be living on the beach, that I should be working for myself. That's delusional. Yeah. So I just want you to know if somebody says to you, oh no, sugar is really bad, fruit feeds cancer and fruit causes weight gain. Well, that's right off the bat, they know nothing about nutrition. Okay. Fruit and vegetables are the healthiest foods on the planet. And you know that. And that's why you're here with me because it just makes sense. It just makes sense. All right. So now let's get into some questions, comments, concerns, some struggles that you might have during this month. I want to address them. First off, and raise your hand if your virtual hand, if you have a question. First off, somebody asked if honey was allowed. Okay. Well, honey, huh. Everyone raise your hand if you think your physical hand. Raise your hand if you think honey is a health food. Raise your hand if you think, be honest. Raise your hand if you think honey is a health product. Okay. Yes, some people are known as vegans. I think Vicky is probably a vegan. She is a vegan who eats honey. So that's a vegan. I personally do not consume honey. I would say you can, if you want, you can consume honey if that's what you desire on this raw food challenge. But I want to challenge you to research what honey is exactly. Okay. And I'm going to share my screen actually because I asked ChatGPT, my friend Chat, exactly what is honey because most of us don't even know. Most of us do not even know what honey is or where it's from. So let me share my screen. Y'all know like it's bee vomit, right? Like you're asking me if I should eat vomit this month. It's a little strange question, but okay, hold on. So let's read exactly what happens with honey. Honey is produced by obviously bees through a fascinating process that involves several stages of collection. Number one, the worker bees collect the nectar from the flowers. Okay, we knew that. The nectar is then stored in the stomach called the honey stomach. Okay. Then it is transported to the hive. Once the bee's honey stomach is full, it returns to the hive and regurgitates the nectar. That's a kind way of saying throws it up, vomits, and then passes it over to the other worker bees. Okay, no problem. Strange that that's what you're into, but hey, do you boo. Next, the receiving bee chews the nectar for 30 minutes. So first of all, bees are gross too, because they eat in their own vomit. Like, what in the world? The receiving bee chews the nectar for 30 minutes, mixing it with their enzymes in their mouth. This enzyme called invertase breaks down the sucrose in the nectar into simpler sugars, glucose, and fructose. The partially processed nectar is then deposited into honeycomb cells within the hive. Okay, then to transform the nectar into honey, its water content must be reduced, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now here's where it gets interesting. once the honey reaches the desired consistency and water content, bees seal the honeycomb cell with wax. Okay. Beekeepers collect the honey by removing the frames containing the honeycomb. So they destroy the house of the bees to get the honey. Then they uncap the wax seals and extract the honey. The extracted honey is filtered to remove any remaining wax particles or impurities before being bottled for consumption. This intricate process ensures that honey is a stable, sweet, nutrient-rich food, both for the bees themselves and for the humans who harvest it. But I have a question for the honey connoisseurs. Oh, by the way, I also looked up, for our benefit, the health risks of consuming honey. Just putting that out there. Okay, just putting that out there. So basically, not good for your teeth because it's very, very sticky. Very sticky. Okay, so if you are going to consume honey this month, my boo, make sure rinse and floss and water pick afterwards. Okay, because it's sticky as fuck. Number two, and then Sybil's going to talk to us about probably about the horrific violence that occurs during the honey process. But number two is I don't think it's good for our blood sugar. Honestly, I don't think it's a food that we were designed to eat. And I think it does spike our blood sugar personally in a way that is not healthy. You know, fruit has fiber, so it doesn't spike our blood sugar, the same way as honey, which is, I believe, void of any type of fiber. There's also pesticides in your fucking honey, boo boo, heavy metals, antibiotics, if not sourced from a reputable producer. I hope you have your own bees. I hope you have your own bees. That is horrific. Allergic reactions, blah, blah, blah. And then just not good in general for babies. I would personally say it's not a health food. I don't know. Okay, Sybil, I'm going to try to stop sharing. And Sybil, what are your thoughts on the honey situation, please? Um, Sybil, what's going on there?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I actually took a course basically on insects. And when I was in college as a kind of an extra class that you can take, you have to have so many enrichment classes because I was so deathly afraid of insects, of certain insects. But what we did cover bees, and the interesting thing about honey is that the purpose of honey, the real purpose, is for the baby bees. It's kind of like cow's milk is for the baby cow. Honey really is for them. That's what it's for. It is to nurture the nest and make sure that they grow and are nurtured. It's their species specific food, pretty much. So, and I thought that was really fascinating. I'm like, because when you grow up and you see it in the store, and even if it's raw honey or whatever, and I know some beekeepers, but yeah, that's the purpose of it. It's really for baby bees.
You know what, Sybil? I'm taking a different stance now because I did not know that. And now 100% no honey for this fucking challenge. Y'all want to eat bee vomit made for baby bees? You can go over to, who's another vegan? I don't know. Somebody else's channel. No more honey. Sorry. I didn't know that. I knew that it wasn't our food. I thought, Sybil, it was to make the hive. But oh, nope, you're right.
Yeah, they use something else to make the hives, but the honey itself is really to nurture the bees. And what's really interesting, like I love that you brought up about the botulism, how it can be deadly to a human infant. And we found that out accidentally because a lot of people, when they were like maybe using formula and that kind of thing, and they were trying to make it sweet like mama's milk, they used honey and all these babies died.
So all y'all eating honey, you want to kill babies? You see what I'm talking about? We need to know.
If you're going to eat the honey, don't give it to your baby. They need to be at least a year old. So there you go.
If something kills a baby, I don't want to eat it. Okay, because I'm still a baby in some ways, people say. Okay, so here we go. So now I look like a baby. Every day I'm getting younger and younger. I'll be Benjamin Button in a few years, so don't you worry. So I'm not eating no honey. Okay, let's start with the questions. I'm so excited. By the way, if you're watching live on YouTube, I cannot answer your questions. I have to answer the questions of the people that are here. If you're not here, I don't care about you. Okay, here we go. So, Alexia, I think I'm saying it right. Can you eat peanut butter? Great question. I can't find raw peanut butter, so I might have to make it myself with raw peanuts. If you can't eat 100% natural, you can find it at the store. Good luck fucking finding raw peanuts, boo. You're gonna have to order them from the rawfoodworld.com. $80,000 for raw jungle peanuts. Good luck. Okay. Personally, this is a great question. I would say, yeah. I would personally recommend you get almond butter instead from Sprouts or Whole Foods. Get it made in the self-serving when it's freshly made, freshly ground. Because here's the situation, and I'm sure a lot of people know this. There's people on this call that know way more than me, just a heads up, okay? So if you know something that I didn't share, please, unmute yourself and share. So basically, the nuts for peanut butter, especially, but any type of nut butter, when you get it in a jar pre-made, those nuts are rancid. Those are the nuts they cannot sell. So I would not recommend you get, store-bought peanut butter or even almond butter or anything from a jar because it is going to be rancid and full of fungus. You got to get the only freshly made. Okay. So Sprouts or Whole Foods, or somebody in the chat, right? If you know of any other place where you can make it yourself. Now, making raw peanut butter, that would be great. It's going to be pricey. The jungle peanuts, somebody wrote about I found raw peanuts, but they are not organic, so I wouldn't bother. I've had jungle peanuts once or twice in my life. I ordered them because I was the same way. I was like, oh, I got to make it myself. It wasn't even worth it. Just get the almond butter in the freshly made. Okay. Sprouted raw almond butter is amazing. Well, I've never had sprouted. That's pretty cool. But again, Leah, I don't eat things from a jar because I don't believe they're fresh. It's not fresh. And also my friend Joy, who is not on the call, she's usually on the call, but she just moved to Thailand. And it's fucking 7 a.m. in Thailand right now. So she tells me that they are allowed to add oil to nut butters, and the FDA doesn't have to tell you. Like, they're allowed to add seed oils, any type of oil they want to nut butters. That's why, yeah, write that down, Judy. So that's why I get freshly made or nothing at all. Just so you guys know, at the end of this meeting, Judy, the fruity cutie with the booty, okay, Judy, say hi. Yep, that's Judy. Everyone say hi, Judy, fruity cutie with the booty. Okay, so she's going to send a recap in the Zoom. Okay, so a recap of everything important. So, you don't have to worry about missing anything if you have to leave or you take a call. I'll put the recap in the group as well on Facebook. Judy's actually a professional. I'm going to fuck this word up, Judy, but it's statistician. What is that word? What am I trying to say?
Stenographer.
Yes. Okay. Similar. Judy was a stenographer, and we found her. We interviewed people, and she's the best person for the job. So she does that for us. Thank God. Stenographer. What did I say? Okay. Here we go.
And I get paid a lot too.
Right. Checks in the mail. Check's been in the mail for a while now. I hope you I hope you're not holding your breath there. Okay. So I hope you're doing Wim Hof to help you with holding your breath. So here we go. Any other questions? I see. Oh, what about cacao? Yeah, cacao is definitely allowed in this month. I would personally say that I would not be raw today if not for cacao. Honestly, for the first 6 years of my raw food journey. I know I now talk about the dangers of cacao, and I was just finishing my new book, and I have a whole chapter on the dangers of cacao and how it has caffeine and theobromine and this and that, and it's acidic. But the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, the truth is that in the beginning of your raw food journey, you need healthier alternatives to junk food. You need those things. So I needed to make, raw vegan chocolate nice cream with frozen bananas, dates, and cacao. Put that in the blender, blend it up. You have the best nice cream of your life. I needed to make raw vegan Snicker bars. Okay. I needed to do that stuff because cookie dough, all that stuff, because I was used to eating McDonald's and French fries and Snickers and M&Ms. You're not going to go from that to eating fucking apples and grapes and carrots. I mean, you're going to have cravings. And to satisfy those cravings, you need to find healthier alternatives. Cacao is definitely allowed this month. And I would say eat as much raw cacao as you want for the first few years. Yeah, it's going to probably make you, if you eat too much of it, you're going to be like wired and you're probably going to stay up late if you eat it late at night, or you might have headaches or whatever. But I would say it's way better than M&Ms and all that shit. Is fruitarian diet, and then maybe if anybody wants to volunteer, if there's any questions I missed, if you can copy and paste them at the bottom of the chat, I appreciate that, because I feel like I might have missed some. But you guys can raise your hand and talk to me too. You know that, right? I'm not going to bite. You're not a fruit or vegetable. Okay, so here we go. Is the fruitarian diet good for all blood types? It says that some blood types need more protein and meat, etc. Ooh, that's a great question. Let's stop right there and answer that first, okay? So, is anyone here? We do have some nurses here. We have a few nurses here. We have a few people that know more about blood types than I do. But I personally have seen people from all the blood types succeed on a raw food diet. I've never, ever seen anyone not be able to eat raw because of their blood type. I also know for a fact that we don't need as much protein as they say. My protein levels are above average, and I have not eaten protein. I haven't eaten any complete protein since 2010. I haven't eaten any beans, obviously no animal products. I don't eat quinoa. My protein is above average. What does that tell you? We don't need as much protein as they say. In fact, the more protein we have, the more our arteries will be clogged, the more disease occurs in the body, the more diabetes. Okay, a lot of people don't know that, but eat more protein causes diabetes and blood sugar issues. Okay, it's not the fruit, it's not the sugar, it's the high fat. So now, yes, please, Jen, can you give us any information on this great question? Is a fruitarian diet good for all blood types? Or do you have a question?
Oh, I just had a question.
Oh, hi, Boo. Okay, well,
Huh?
you can ask your question.
Okay, so I've been on this like weird binge where like I think it was one time, sometimes last year I did like a 30-day raw food and I was just so into salads. And then I think by day 15, I was like, oh, I'm so bloated. I don't like this feeling. So then I started blending and I started drinking it. Do you have any other recommendations to reduce that bloatness and eating a raw salad apart from just like blending?
Okay, so it was hard for me to hear you. What are you eating exactly that I think something's making you bloated, right?
Yeah, so it's like the leafy stuff, like the lettuce, the spring mix, I even went to a whole farmer's market this weekend and found some phenomenal lettuce and all different types there, and I just indulged in it. It's so good.
Okay, so when you eat it, you get bloated. When you blend it, do you still get bloated?
Nope, I feel just fine.
Okay, one last follow-up question. The greens that you're eating, are they like the very like bitter ones? Are you doing like more of like the kale or collard green or chard?
I would say kale and spinach are my go-tos. I stopped with the kale because it's kind of bitter. So now it's just like more so like spinach.
Okay. So sometimes, yeah, sometimes are you eating these greens alone or with other things?
No, with the tomatoes and the
Yes, the big
carrots
salad.
and the cucumbers, all the goody stuff.
Yes. So I don't know if it's the greens exactly, but
Mhm.
I would definitely recommend you try more of the young baby greens.
Okay.
The more easily digestible greens, romaine, baby, make
Mhm.
sure it's baby spinach, baby kale,
Mhm.
baby arugula, the Boston
Okay.
lettuce, the
Mhm.
red leaf, green leaf. The more tender baby greens might be better and easier on your digestion. And
Okay.
that's a great idea to blend them because then they're
Mhm.
kind of pre-digested.
Okay.
Great question. Some people definitely have issues with the darker, more mature greens. I cannot eat the chard and the kale and the collard green. I get bloated. So it's not, you're not, it's not uncommon. But stick to more baby tender greens, microgreens, or would be good for you, sprouts as well. I would recommend. Um,
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, we have a lot of questions and stuff to go through. So I cannot lose my place here. Oh yeah, thank you. Okay, so Ben, second question. Okay, so no. Blood type, no. Nonsense, nonsense. Number 2, how about coconut meat? Real from the coconut. Is there a limit on how much? And in general, how much coconuts and avocado are good to consume? I'm trying now not to eat nuts during this cleanse. Okay, well, I would definitely say coconut meat is okay for sure. It's very, very healthy. I think it's really satisfying. I think it's going to be difficult for you to, if you're going from a standard American diet or like a processed food diet with meat and dairy, it's going to be a little difficult to go raw and not eat any nuts or seeds. Coconut meat for sure, definitely. Avocados, I would recommend. You want to even go crazy and try some durian. You could do that too. But I wouldn't recommend you don't eat nuts or seeds. Okay. So everyone here, I would say fruit, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Don't limit them, especially if you've been eating processed foods in the last, month or two. Okay. So this is not an all fruit challenge. I do believe fruit is our species specific food, but I mean, even me, I can't just do all fruit and vegetables. I make a beautiful big salad dressing most nights with nuts or seeds. I don't eat nuts or seeds per se, but I like to make a dressing or put them in my nice cream. So yes, great questions. Chew your food 20 times or more for less bloating. Yeah, great tip. Great tip there. And that's why blending is very, helpful sometimes because the blender's chewing for us. Guys, sometimes it's not what you're eating, it's how you're eating it. So let's start chewing our food slower and more carefully. That is such a great point, Janet. Of course, your name is Janet, similar to Jeanette. You're so wise, obviously. Mwah, that is a great tip. Food combining may help if you get bloated. Yeah, food combining, because what else are you eating? You know, usually it's the food combining that is going to give us bloating. You greens go great with everything. Nuts do not go good with fruit. Okay. But greens go good with nuts. Greens go good with fruit. Greens go with everything. Nuts should be eaten alone, really. And if you're going to make a big salad and you find that you're getting bloated, first of all, are you eating too fast? Are you chewing your food? And maybe you want to remove some of the fruit from your salad. Because remember, you're eating a big salad and tomatoes a fruit, cucumbers a fruit. It's probably not the cucumber. It might be a big green salad with tomatoes and a dressing made of cashews or whatever. It might be the combination of the cashews and the tomatoes. So maybe eat the tomatoes first. Maybe if you're very bloated, if you're getting, digestive issues from the salad, maybe eat your tomatoes first and have a beautiful big salad with cucumber and greens and maybe some carrots and maybe some sprouts and put your dressing on. And that might help. That might be better. Great point as well, Sybil. Okay, Leah, hold on. Wait. No, because this is so great that we're talking, guys. She says no apple slices with nut butters. Oh, well, no. Only if you get bloated. If you can eat apple and almond butter and you feel great and it's amazing, do it, boo. Do it. Do you think that I practice food combining? No. I cannot live by those rules 24/7. But if I notice something is making me feel, uncomfortable, bloated, giving me gas, okay, then we want to look at, okay, what was in the smoothie? What did I eat an hour ago? What did I eat today? Right? But I used to eat almond butter and apples all the time. All the time. You don't want to limit yourself, especially in the beginning. Okay. If you feel good, do it, boo. Fruit, vegetable, nuts, and seeds. All right. So the food combining is really more for people that are having major digestive issues. Okay. Next question. Oh, thank you, Brianna. I saw Brianna copy and pasted a question. Is tahini acceptable for the month? 100%. And let's get the record straight. I'm sorry, okay? It doesn't have to be 100% raw tahini, okay? So let's just calm down here because I don't want anybody to mortgage their house just to buy tahini this month, okay? So tahini is tahini. Let's calm down. Let's calm down, okay? I want your kids to go to college. So I don't want you to empty your savings to buy this fucking $20 raw tahini that's gone in 2 days. Let's calm down. No. This is the Misfit Vegan Raw Food Challenge. This is not the Psycho Raw Food Challenge. Although I've been called crazy a few times, but no, let's just calm down. Tahini is allowed of any kind. No lettuce combining with melon. Yeah, that's a good question. No lettuce combining with melons. Melons should be eaten alone, but greens go with everything. So if you want to eat lettuce and melons, you absolutely can. Greens go with everything. Oh my God, Forrest is here. Get out of here.
Hi, babe.
I cannot see Forrest for the trees. What is going on here? Where's Forrest? Oh, there you are. Hi, Boo. Yeah, it's been a minute. Oh, hi, Forrest. Okay, Forrest is
I miss you.
yeah, I miss you too. She's a fruity cutie. What's the shirt say today?
Oh, it says you're only as cool as you treat people. And my booty shorts say non-human animals are not for sale, or non-human animals are not our products. Life is not for sale.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. She's ready. See, Forrest, stay ready so she don't have to get ready. Okay, thank you, Forrest, for being here. No payments made to Bill Gates. Yeah, that's right. I'm liking this challenge. Isn't too strict. Yeah, we're not going to get crazy here, Amber, but we do want to stay raw. So within limits, okay? Fruit, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Now, if you eat a French fry, you're out of the fucking challenge. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Oh, Jeannette said I don't have to be crazy. No, you have to be crazy. You don't have to be insane. You understand me? Okay? I like the watermelon, Kyle. On brand. I fucks with it. Okay, listen, let's go. Chew your food. Yep. Okay. Any other questions that I can help? Oh, can you give us tips on how to pick out a good watermelon? Well, that is the only thing I know. So that's a good question. The best way to pick out a watermelon is number one, look for the top and the bottom. It has to be dark. Okay, so you know the top, should I get my watermelon? The top and the bottom have to be dark, where the seed, where the vine was. Okay, if it's white, it's not a good sign. If it's moldy, it's old. It has to be dark. Okay, number two, when you pick it up, if it's super heavy for its size, you're like, oh my God, that's a really good sign. Number three, if you're looking for a sweet watermelon, then look for the round ones. If you're looking for more of a juicy one, if you don't want sweet, then do the long ones. Okay. The long watermelons that are shaped like cucumbers. Okay. We're going to keep it PG. Those are male watermelons. Okay. And those are less sweet. The round ones are female and those are more sweet. And by the way, guys, I feel like I'm talking way too much today. Usually my fruity cuties talk a lot more, but listen, I just learned that jackfruit, this is crazy. If you get a very round jackfruit, it's sweeter because I think that's a female jackfruit. And then the longer ones are male and they're less sweet because I just had the most sweetest jackfruit and it was round. So just a heads up. Okay. How about
Okay,
dried?
wait a minute. Wait,
Yes.
silly question. But when you were talking about the watermelon on the top and the bottom, do you mean the top and bottom, like the stem and or this top and bottom?
No, just where the stem is, the little, the
Yeah,
watermelon
that's the top.
little, and then
Okay.
the watermelon butthole. Yeah. Okay. And also look for a very large sunspot. I don't know if this is a myth or not, because honestly, I've had both good ones without a sunspot, good ones with one, but if there's a big yellow spot, supposedly that means, the sugar and thing is very sweet, the sugar, something there. I don't know. It's controversial because some people say that's not a sunspot. That's where it sits. That's where the watermelon sits on the ground. So it can't be a sunspot. Who knows? Okay. And then hit it, of course. But, it's hard for me to tell you how it should sound. If you came to my retreat, then you would know. All the people that came to the retreat, they in person, we all hit the watermelons. Okay, how about dried fruit, dates, and dehydrated foods? Also, is noni juice really beneficial? Raise your hand if you've had noni juice. No, thank you. Jeremy, don't you dare. What is noni juice? First of all, I'm spotlighting Jeremy because this background, yeah. If you don't have fruit in your background, then what are you doing? What are you doing? That's number one. Number two, what does noni juice taste like for the fruity cuties that don't know, Jeremy?
Well, I had noni, but not noni juice. But noni tastes like blue cheese to me.
And do you like it? Is it a good thing or is it gross?
I think it needs to be diluted.
It is so gross. It is so fucking gross. Noni. I actually have never tried noni. I smelled it. Somebody wanted me to try it. I almost threw up. I could not put that in my mouth. I could not. So kudos to you, Jeremy. You'll put anything in your mouth. So kudos to you. Yeah. And by the way, Jeremy, why don't you tell everyone what are you making? Because Jeremy's always in the kitchen, by the way.
I'm cutting some watermelon and then I'm gonna blend it with like lemon and lime juice and then drink it.
Who else is eating watermelon today? This is so freaking cute. I love it. Yes, thank you, Jeremy. We appreciate you for being so cute and so fruity. Now, Sybil, yes.
Just wanted to wish Jeremy a happy belated birthday. He had a birthday.
Oh, yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Okay. All right. So everyone, do me a favor. If you can, unmute. We gonna sing. We gonna sing to Jeremy. It's gonna be so weird because you know how Zoom does when you all. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Happy
Happy
birthday. Yeah, it's gonna sound fucked up. To you.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday.
to
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday, dear Jeremy with the boot. Yay. Happy birthday to you.
and many more.
And many and many
Thank
more.
you.
And
Okay.
many more.
Thanks, everyone.
Now wait. How old are you, Fruity Cutie Jeremy?
How do I look?
Oh no, don't do that. Don't do
I'm
that.
32 now.
Impossible. You don't look a day over 31. Impossible. No, Jeremy, this is so 21 forever. Yeah. Come on, dude. That is so cool. I definitely didn't know. I couldn't guess your age. No way. And yeah, so what did you do for your birthday this weekend?
I went blueberry and blackberry picking,
Of
and
course.
my friend showed up with a watermelon to the field, and she gave me a watermelon for my birthday.
Oh my God. You see, guys, you see how cute you could be if you stay raw. You could be just as cute as Jeremy getting mother fruity watermelons for their birthday in a field of other fruit. I mean, come on. I love it. It's so cute. Okay, let's get back to the questions. Thank you, Jeremy, for being here and
Thanks,
blessing us
y'all.
with your presence. Now, Mary D, the D, we're not sure what it stands for, but what is the white sticky stuff in jackfruit? That is the latex that is not to be eaten. And personally, I believe that if it's very, very sticky, your jackfruit is not ripe. So just a heads up. I am not an expert in jackfruit, but I have noticed that every time I have jackfruit that's very, very sticky, it was not ripe yet. So you got to wait a little bit longer. Okay, it's got to be dark. Jackfruit has to smell from the outside. It has to have some give, and the spikes need to be separating or flat, even better if it's flat. Okay, I have lots of videos on watermelon, jackfruit. People are asking questions about how to pick out fruit. Some of you guys have been sending me questions to my private questions. And a lot of the questions are about fruit. So if you go on YouTube and you type in Misfit Vegan and whatever fruit you'd like, I bet you can find a video on that. Watermelon, jackfruit, I have like hundreds of videos. Okay. So you just click one and I'm saying the same thing in every video. Okay. So here we go. Watermelon for dinner too. Oh my God. Okay. Perfect. Smells like vomit. Tastes like vomit smells. That must be about the Noni. Highly do not recommend Noni. Ill. Gross. But it's supposed to be very good for you. I can't imagine how or why or what. I don't know. How about dried fruit, dates, and dehydrated foods? Yes, definitely. For the dried fruit and the dates, just be aware that that can make you bloated and that can also dehydrate you. So drink a lot of water before you eat the dried fruit. Also, make sure to take care of your teeth. So after you have dried fruit, just floss and rinse and brush your teeth after. That would be very good. I did not do that for the first 6 years of being raw. So I definitely wish I did. Can you talk about juice fasting versus colonics? Well, one goes in your mouth and the other comes out your butt. One goes in and one comes out. That's it. What's a must for organic? Like what food must be organic? Oh, I love this question. This is a good question. We'll get back to the colonic question though. I'm very passionate about what goes in and out of my butt. Okay, so for organic, you definitely want to eat greens organic, berries, and grapes. Anything that you cannot peel. I mean, this is just how I live my life. If you cannot afford it, then don't fucking worry about it. Because the best thing on earth is organic, raw fruit and vegetables, right? But the second thing is non-organic, fresh, raw fruit and vegetables. So like if you cannot afford or find raw organic, then go for raw fresh. Okay? Don't worry about it. Maybe you want to soak it in some baking soda and vinegar and some cold water. if you cannot get organic. But those three things I highly recommend organic: the greens, the grapes, and the berries. Because I mean, they are spraying a lot of pesticides on stuff. And Karen Ramsey in an interview once told me that she saw a study that said that berries that are not organic are basically like little pellets of pesticides. And there's like more pesticides in them than there is berries. Like, yeah, it's that bad. So I would recommend organic or soak in baking soda and a little white vinegar for 20 minutes. I think that is what Sybil does, and that's what I would do. Can we use plant-based protein powder during the challenge? Well, I've been talking too much. So somebody else unmute and tell me your opinion on that. Can we use plant-based protein powder during the challenge? Yeah, you don't want to die of a protein deficiency this month. So somebody unmute. I don't want to talk anymore.
Yeah, low key, like I feel like they probably like process it somehow, like they probably do something to it, like. But yeah, like I know there's different kinds of plant protein, like what they got, like the hemp one, they got like what, like rice or something. What else do they have? I'm trying to remember. Do you remember?
Yeah, they got the brown rice, they got the pea protein, they got
Oh yeah,
the
pea
hemp
protein.
protein. Yeah, okay. So personally, if you want to have added protein, boo, thank you, Kyle. I appreciate you. If you want to have added protein, then just put in a tablespoon or two of hemp seeds. Why do you need protein powder when it's just going to make you fart all night? Why do you want to fart all night? I mean, no, seriously. Is there a competition you're in? Do you hate your spouse? What is going on there that you have the desire to fart all night? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Jody. I love you.
So
Sorry.
I asked the question, and it wasn't so much for the protein, just it's more to fill me up. And the one I use, it's TB12. I don't know if you ever heard of that. It doesn't, I know, because I know a lot of plant-based protein powders can have a lot of extra ingredients in there that aren't good for you. So I know it's not, obviously, it's still a processed food, right? And I get that.
Well, what's the ingredients?
So in this one, it is pea protein, monk fruit, gar gum. Is it gar gum? GUAR gum.
Guar gum, yeah.
Guar gum, thank you. And I think that's it. It's only 3 or 4 ingredients in the TB12 one. So when I was using, so every morning I've always had that with my fruit and water as a filler to fill me up, because for some reason I get hungry all the time.
No, it's not some reason. The reason you get hungry is because you're not eating enough fruit. I guarantee that, boo. That's number one.
Yeah.
Because you probably don't have anyone in your life that's raw. Am I right?
I don't. And
yeah.
actually, yeah, I deal with a lot of BS, about you need to eat meat, blah, all that stuff. And I'm not completely vegan, but I'd love to be. I want to be. And it's my main reason was for the animals. It was more for humanity and for animals. I agree with all the other health benefits that come along with it. But mine was more when I decided I wanted to try and be more plant-based and get rid of meat in my life. It was for the animals. And obviously, like I said, I know the health benefits come along with it, but it's a struggle because on top of not of being hungry all the time, I'm a sugar junkie. Like,
no, you're just a human, Jody. I have so much to say. First of all, are you from Boston by any chance?
I'm from Boston.
Okay,
yeah.
with the water. Yep, in the
the
Weston,
water.
Weston area.
Yeah, and I
with
had
the
terrible
water. Yep.
watermelons. This
Yeah,
week.
watermelon. Yep. Oh my God, I love your accent. It's so freaking cute. I'm not gonna keep doing it because I'm gonna mess it up. It's so cute. Okay, let's talk real quick. First of all, I said this because I didn't either have raw vegans around me, in the beginning of my journey. So I didn't know how much fruit I should eat. So I knew that when I was hungry, that's when I knew I wasn't eating enough fruit. So just know that you're a sugar junkie because you're a human. That's number one. We're all sugar junkies, okay? If we don't eat enough fruit.
Yeah.
And number two, you got to just up the fruit a little bit. Now, with the protein powder, I think that's not the worst protein powder I've ever heard of. Only 3 ingredients. That's not bad at all. I would recommend you finish that protein powder finish it out. And then I would say maybe try hemp seeds instead, or a protein powder with only one ingredient. Like, for example, they do have ones that have it's just pea protein, or
Yeah.
it's just but I would say put the hemp seeds in there instead. Hemp seeds or chia seeds, something like that. Or greens have a lot of protein too. Throw in some greens. To fill you up, yeah, more fruit. More fruit. I would say no less than 5 bananas in a smoothie. How many bananas do you currently put in your smoothie?
You're gonna kill me.
If you say half a banana, I'm literally blocking you from the call and I'm getting.
I put 1 banana. It really is half a banana. Don't
You
block
know,
me from the
no, you know
call.
what? I'm blocking you. I'm putting you in the waiting room and you're gonna think about what you did. No, I don't even know how to do that. But I
But
I
I
see
put
the
a lot of
option.
other fruit in it. It's just the banana I do have.
I understand.
For some reason, I do have.
Okay, no, but that's why you're here. So I would recommend start a little more. 2,
Yeah.
3 bananas. Because 5 bananas is 500 calories. And honestly, if you want to succeed on this lifestyle, you're gonna need at least 500 calories in every meal. At least. At least. Or else you're gonna get hungry. I mean, Jeremy, he
Right.
just put it in the chat. 1,000 calories of fruit before noon. That is a tip that I know he got it from Freely, the banana girl. And that's a pretty fucking good tip. And let me tell you why. Because if you don't get your calories from fruit, you're going to get your calories from processed foods. So I'm not saying you have to cram in 1,000 calories before noon. Because
Yeah.
by the way, that would be 10 bananas. You would lose your shit.
I
Literally, you would have to
lose
shit.
my
Like
shit.
you would lose it. Yeah. Because half a banana, that's wild. Okay, so you're here for a reason. And next Monday, I want to hear about how many bananas you're putting in your smoothies.
All right. I'll
Okay.
start with 1.
Woo! No, but I knew it was half.
You have to start somewhere.
Yes, exactly. I love you for
Yeah.
being here and thank you. And did I answer all your questions?
Yeah, you did. I just wanted your opinion. I knew
Yes.
you weren't going to agree with protein powder. I just asked if I can use it for the challenge. If I
Yeah,
felt
yeah,
I
definitely. Definitely
needed
use
it
it up.
to get me through.
Don't throw that away. Use that up. And also, I mean, it's not the worst one. I don't
Yeah,
know
and
exactly what. Yeah.
I'll start adding the hemp seeds and more banana.
Thank you very much,
All
boo.
right, no problem.
I love you. Appreciate that. Now, coconut meat in the smoothie will keep you full. Yep, any type of fat. So yeah, nuts or seeds. I used to put almond butter in my smoothies back in the day. I used to throw cashews in there. I used to have Brazil nuts in there sometimes. I used to do coconut meat too. I knew somebody that used to do avocado in their smoothie. That's not for me. It makes it like kind of a mousse. And it's just weird consistency. Jeannette, your hair is so long and thick, it looks like you have dreadlocks. Okay. I washed
yeah.
it today. Who said that?
I just want to say something real quick. Yeah, so I think like with those protein powders,
Yeah.
I prefer the hemp over like the brown rice one, because really like rice is like an acidic food, you know what I'm saying? And like hemp is like it's like more natural food, you know what I'm saying? And then also like y'all said before, like we don't need as much protein as like they say we need. Like I've been eating watermelon for 12 days and I'm a man and I've been like working out, going to the gym and stuff. And I feel good right now. Like every time I got hungry, I just ate more watermelon. And like I've probably been averaging like probably like 1 to 1.5 watermelons a day. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
I
I
feel good.
definitely know that is the facts. We don't need as much protein as they say, but she has a good point because it keeps her full. Because that is true. Those kind of things will keep you full because it's higher in fat. And, sometimes fruit. Sometimes, it depends. In the beginning of your journey, fruit might not keep you full, but if you've been doing it for a while, your body gets used to not having that very heavy feeling. Sometimes we need that, especially in the beginning. So I ate a lot more nuts, a lot more seeds, a lot more avocados, a lot more heavier things in the beginning than I do now. Okay, the people that are live on YouTube that are writing, I will get to you. I will, I promise. There is one person, she sent me $20, so now I feel like I have to answer the question. That could buy me at least one watermelon. So here we go. What about iodine? Okay, what about iodine? Jalen, I love you. Okay, now iodine, I have never worried about ever. Yeah, in the beginning, I was like, oh no, what about my iodine? And so like I took the iodine test. Oh, thank God, Joy's here. Thank you. So Joy, can you please, Joy's one of the fruity cuties that knows more than me. Can you please help the person that wants to know what about iodine? Are they going to become iodine deficient eating raw vegan for the month of June? Is there any way that you can unmute perhaps maybe? Oh, thank you.
I do not know more than you, my dear.
Yes,
Sybil,
you do.
I think Sybil knows more than me, but I mean, the thing you got to be careful with some of this stuff is that when you start taking in isolates, then you create imbalances in other ways. And a lot of this stuff, like the deficiencies, come out of, I mean, your body's not working right, and part of the way to get it working right is to eat fruit because then you're very cute. But seriously, I mean, I just think that iodine is one of those that's really risky. I personally have heard positive and super negative on it. So I feel like it's a bit of a roll of the dice. And then why is somebody wanting that? What is happening in their body that they're missing? See, Sybil's coming in. Here we go. So I mean, I don't know. I think it's the first question I would ask is why is she wanting that? And then the second, what does your diet look like? And then third, isolates would be just like an emergency last minute thing because you can create these imbalances. I mean, our bodies are designed to live with whole fruit, whole vegetables. It's not meant to get like super high doses of these isolated minerals. So that's my 2
I
cents,
agree.
but-
Yeah, I agree. It's worth more than 2 cents. At least 4 cents, 5 cents. Okay, so now, Sybil, what do you think about this? And yeah, great point. We have a follow-up question, Jalen. Are you iodine deficient? Why are you concerned about your iodine? So yes, Sybil.
So the thing about unless you've been told by a doctor that you have an iodine deficiency, which most people don't in the country because most people in the country use salt that's iodized. And that's the reason that they put iodine in the salt was so people would get the trace mineral. But here's the thing, it's like it is a trace mineral. So when you have too much, and in fact, they'll even tell you, people that like to use a little bit of kelp powder as their iodine source, they'll tell you don't use too much because it can be toxic in the body if you use too much. So yeah, I would maybe see if there's a concern that you have an iodine issue, things like kelp or different seaweeds. Kyle said sea moss. By the way, Kyle, when you're in the chat, all of your messages are going to me, so you want to make sure it goes to everybody. Like,
oh, so Kyle's hitting on Sybil. Sybil been married for 30 years, Kyle.
I don't think that's
because I think your husband needs to come here and clear this up here. Okay, no.
But yeah, I personally would never supplement iodine unless I was absolutely told by a doctor that this is a health risk and I have to have it because it can be quite toxic if it's too high. And even things like kelp powder that people use as a salt substitute, you got to be careful with how much you use because you only need like that much. You don't really need that much. So that's all.
Yeah, great points. Great points. Thank you so much. And then Joy wrote in the comments, yeah, that's the issue. When you supplement, when you don't, okay, even when you are deficient, but especially when you aren't deficient, when you supplement, it really throws off the body. And so I just want everyone out there to be careful. All I'm asking is, you're worried about a certain nutrient, get a blood test and see if you're deficient before you start taking supplements. And this is what I would do. I'm not a doctor. I'm just in better health than any doctor you've ever met. However, I would personally say, I am, Tara. You know it. So don't even, okay? Shaking her head. I just look better than any doctor you've ever seen. So, okay. So basically, make sure you get a blood test and then go from there. Iodine, I've never even worried about. I've never thought about. Yeah, in the very beginning of my journey, I remember getting iodine to do the test Because, they said if you get iodine and you put it on your skin, if it absorbs within, I don't know, what is it? An out. Does anybody know these rules? The iodine rules, you put them on your skin. I'm sure Joy or Sybil know. Somebody knows. You put it on your skin, and then if it absorbs within a few minutes or whatever, that means you're iodine deficient or something like that. But I remember thinking this was crazy anyway, and so I've never worried about iodine. I know there are some raw vegans that are really into the iodine situation. I've never worried about it, and I definitely have never been deficient either. Okay, kelp is a whole food, but are we living in the sea? Yeah, don't even get me started on my whole rant about seaweed or sea moss, because Kyle's gonna leave the chat. He's not gonna be my friend no more. But watermelon makes sense. Seaweed, I don't know. But that being said, are there benefits? Sure. There's also benefits to smoking cigarettes. There's antioxidants in cigarettes. You know that, right? I'm just saying. Vitamin B3 in nicotine. I'm putting that out there. So there's benefits to everything on earth. Like cacao, they talk about all the benefits, but what about all the negative effects too of theobromine and all these things? So I think to myself, I don't know. I just think about common sense. When I approach my diet, my way, because guess what? You can do it your way. You have to find out what way works best for you. You don't have to eat the way I eat because you're not me. You're not living in my body. You're not living in my reality, right? So if you want to do something that I'm not doing, then don't do it. Like, do it. If I'm not, you know what I mean? You got to sit with yourself and listen to your own intuition. Maybe you're going to do this 30-day raw thing and you're going to love it. And you're going to keep doing it because you're like, oh my God, it feels so great. Maybe you're going to leave these 30 days and you're going to say, you know what? I really miss warm food. I really, really miss warm food. And then to that, I say, okay, you don't need to be raw to be healthy. You can eat sweet potatoes. You can eat broccoli, mushrooms, peppers, squashes. You want to have quinoa, oats, oatmeal. There's nothing wrong with these foods. Okay? If you feel good and you're really deprived when you're eating raw, you don't feel great. You miss warm food a lot. Does somebody want to say something? I feel like, I don't know if somebody sneezed, but anyway, so basically, I would say that try everything out and see if it works for you. Now, me with the seaweed and the sea moss and stuff, I tried it out, didn't see a difference, and I also started feeling like this is not for me because it was gross. I like to eat things on their own, not just put it into smoothies and stuff. So I was eating it on its own because, everything I eat, I want it to make sense. And so I'm just answering this because Renee asked me, what are your thoughts on sea moss? My thought is it's not for us. It's not our food. Because I swim in the Atlantic Ocean every day. And when I see seaweed, I'm like, I'm not attracted to it. I don't want to eat it. It smells gross. It looks gross. It's just not my food. If there was some mangoes floating by, I would literally be like, hold on 1 second. And I would take the mango and I would get a knife. I'd open it up or I'd just peel the skin off and I'd eat it. So that's my personal opinion on the sea moss. Now, Joy said sea moss is bomb with banana ice cream, but that's just for fun. Yeah, but so is hemp seeds in the banana and ice cream. Whatever. I'm not saying that seaweed is terrible for you, but I'm not convinced personally that we need it. That's my personal opinion. I like to use common sense in my raw food diet. That's how I approach it. And same thing with the supplements, guys. It doesn't make any sense to me to be supplementing in advance. I know so many vegans, and I'm sure you do too, that are taking B12, to prevent a B12 deficiency. And I think this is ludicrous. That's my personal opinion. And I talk more about this, I think it's in the first book, Raw Vegan Excuses. I just think it's absurd it's like cutting off your breasts to prevent breast cancer. And some people do that. So, hey, to each their own. That's absurd to me, but some people do it. I think Angelina Jolie did it, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I like to snack on raw nori. Does it mean I'm low on some minerals? Yeah, that's a great question, Gina. Gina, she won something. I don't know what she won, but she won a challenge. So Gina's here and she won. I remember sending her, she won my book. But how did you win my book, Gina? What was the contest? Okay, so Gina wants to know, yeah, if you're craving seaweed, then eat it. Perhaps you are low in some minerals, maybe even iodine, I'm not sure. Your body's very smart. So if you're eating fruit, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, your body's going to start to crave things that it needs. So if you're craving sweets, it's because your body needs glucose. Your body needs sugar, healthy sugar. If you're craving salt, it's most likely that your body needs greens. Your body is asking for minerals, okay, when you're craving salt. So don't eat salt. I'd recommend you up your greens. And you also maybe sprinkle some dulse on your salad or eat some nori, make some nori rolls, okay? So either up your greens and or have some seaweed, and that will help with the salt cravings, okay? So here we go. We have so many new trends: sea moss, spirulina, chlorella, chaga. Same with protein powder since the last 5 to 10 years. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at follow the money. There's not much money to be made in fruit and vegetables, but there's a lot of people selling the sea moss, the spirulina, the chaga, etc. And meanwhile, nobody's going into nature and taking seaweed from the ocean and eating it. Like nobody's going into nature and fucking finding spirulina, which God only knows. I don't even know. I know it's a seaweed. It's an algae, but like, what the fuck? Meanwhile, here in Florida, if I see a star fruit tree, I'm going to go to the star fruit tree and pick it and eat it. It just makes sense. It just doesn't make sense for me to eat seaweed anymore. And I have it sometimes for fun. We had it at my retreat. Okay, we had the wraps, the seaweed nori wraps. Okay, great. That's fun. But am I going to eat it for health purposes? No. You know what I eat for health purposes? Fruit and vegetables. That's it. The nuts and seeds are for fun, honestly. Fruit when I'm hungry, when I want something sweet, vegetables when I want something salty and savory. That's it. Okay. I did somebody asked about the juice a long time ago. Somebody asked about the juice cleansing versus colonics. And in all seriousness, I just want you to know that there is nothing that can replace a colonic. Okay, enemas do not replace colonics. I'm a big proponent of colonics, and I would highly recommend that you look into getting a gravity method closed system colonic. Okay, Tara, have you gotten your colonic yet? You didn't know I was going to talk about your butthole today, but yes, here we are.
Bring it on. Let's talk about it. Yeah, I had a colonic. I did.
And recently?
It was a month ago.
Yes.
Yes. And it happened. And yeah.
Was it worth it? Any benefits? Did you feel better? Do you think it helped at all? Tell people that have never had one before.
I think there's a benefit to it for sure. And I think in my particular case, because I have such a heavy starch diet, I have so much crap backed up in my system that it will take more than one colonic for me to probably feel the benefits. And as Jeannette has suggested, I should do it 4 weeks in a row. God had other plans for me. And even though I had those sessions booked, it did not happen. But that may be the way to go for some people. It may take more than one session. It may take a few consecutive sessions to really feel the benefits.
Yeah. And then, the best thing to do, getting one is better than none. And then the best way to cleanse the body is slowly through the raw food diet. So when you ask me about juice cleansing versus colonics, a colonic can absolutely help you to speed up detox and speed up healing. A juice cleanse, well, I don't see a difference between a juice cleanse and a raw food diet. I really don't. In fact, I think a raw food diet is way smarter and actually in the long run helps you to heal faster, because let me tell you why. When you go on a juice cleanse, you learn how to do a juice cleanse. When you go on a raw food diet, a challenge like this month, then you learn how to eat raw, which will help you to sustain this lifestyle for life. When you go on a juice cleanse, you're not learning anything. You're learning how to do a juice cleanse, which is completely unsustainable, which is borderline eating disorder behavior. I don't believe in juice cleanses, in case you didn't know that. Okay, yeah, if you have stage 4 cancer, perhaps you want to do a juice cleanse. I don't think there's any difference between doing a juice cleanse and eating a raw food diet, even on when you have stage 4 cancer. No joke. Because, like, what magically happens when you take the fiber out? You know what happens? You are hungrier than ever, and you're risking falling off the juice cleanse because you're starving. That's the only difference, in my personal opinion. Joy, don't come for me. Are you gonna come for me right now? Because don't embarrass me now. We're live on
No,
YouTube.
I'm just gonna back up. I'm gonna
Oh,
back
thank you.
up what you
Okay.
said.
Okay, thank you. All
Yeah,
right,
because
Joy,
I mean,
tell
that's
me.
one thing I will just bring in, I know I hate to do, but I'm bringing in what Dr. Morris would say is that he would prefer someone to go on all watermelon than to do a water or juice cleanse, because especially when they're sick, because the fiber helps move everything through. So when you're not using fiber, yeah, you're letting your body do more work, but you don't, things aren't moving through as fast and as much as they would. So that's just
I
a
didn't know he said
backup
that.
of
That's
what you were
really
saying.
cool. Yeah, I didn't know
Mhm.
he said that. And that makes so much sense to me. Honestly, just common sense, right? Fiber, it helps us to move things along. The juice doesn't. So, like, I know juice cleanses, they work because it's what you don't eat that heals you. Right, Joy? Is that why it works?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, but the thing is, people are going from like a, kind of a crappy diet relatively, to not doing anything. So it's like everything's going to feel good. I mean, you could probably just have one carrot or like you could, it wouldn't even matter what you're doing. So that's why if you did something like watermelon or something really high water and hydrating with fiber, then that's all the better. Especially it depends on how toxic people are, right? Because that was his thing, is that people can actually kill themselves doing water fasts and being toxic. So if you just do like say all watermelon, then it's still moving through you. So anyway, there.
I agree. And I think it is much safer and much smarter to go on a raw food diet because then you're going to learn how to live this way forever. And you can only stay healthy as long as you stay on a healthy diet. All of us want to find the hack or want to, like, just heal the fastest. But, like, once you heal, what's going to happen? If you go back to eating crap, you're going to go back to being sick. Now, I read something so good the other day, and it was you train your body how to keep the weight off. So if you lose weight on a juice cleanse, you need to write that down, Judy, because I'm dropping bombs that people are not picking up. Okay. So you train your body how to keep the weight off. So if you lost the weight on a juice cleanse, the only way to keep that weight off is to stay on a juice cleanse. If you lose the weight on a raw food diet, the way to keep that off is to sustain a raw or high raw vegan diet, which you can absolutely do for life. You know why? Because you can eat as much as you want. So that's why I eat raw, because I personally love to eat. I love to eat, and I love to eat large quantities of food. It was a dream when I found out about the raw food diet. Now, if you're somebody who doesn't like to eat, I know some people, they like to have, little here, a little bit, half a banana, a little bit, little bit. Okay. Now, if you're like one of those people that doesn't like to eat large quantities of food, then you know what you can do? You can still be healthy. You're going to probably want to do a high raw vegan diet after this month. You're going to have some fruit. And then maybe you want to eat some quinoa or starches like, sweet potatoes or squashes inside of a salad, to get more calorically dense foods because you don't want to eat a large quantity of fruit. Okay. So we'll talk about that, later on in the month, how to sustain this. Some people are going to stay raw like me, and some people, they don't want to stay raw, and that's fine, but you can stay healthy. Not eating raw is not an excuse to go to fucking Burger King. I swear to God, if I see anyone on this call right now, I'm looking at everybody's face. If I see anyone walking into Burger King on July 1st, I'm coming to your house. I'm taking back the prize. No joke. I will fly. Judy and I will fly to your house, and we will beat your ass and with a watermelon, and we will take back the prize. I don't want to see it. If you want to eat cooked food, okay, July 1st, you can eat cooked food, but there's a big difference between healthy cooked food and unhealthy cooked food, and you know the difference. So don't use it, no, I can't be raw, as an excuse to go to Burger King or eat French fries or whatever. Okay, so any other questions, comments, concerns? If I missed any, please let me know, copy and paste, or just raise your hand because I don't want anyone to be confused. I know we definitely had a question in the live chat If you want to re-ask it, I really appreciate it. Somebody said that I said that there's not a lot of money in fruit and vegetables. No, there isn't as much money in fruit and vegetables as the supplement industry, because I just looked it up the other day and it is insane. The supplement industry is like, it's so crazy how much money is in this industry, the protein powder industry, the supplements. And it's because, I mean, fear mongering, and people just have no idea what to eat. We have never been taught this. We've never been told that we don't need to worry about protein. What we need to worry about is biophotons. We need to worry about vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, not protein. So, yeah, that is the miseducation of the people is the reason why these companies are thriving. And of course, all the junk food, the processed foods, processed sugar, all these companies are making a lot of money because we are frugivores and we need to eat sweet things or else we will not survive. So it's going to be fruit or it's going to be processed sugar. It's one or the other. So there's nothing wrong with you if you have fallen off of every diet you've ever started, because you have just been doing what you need to do to survive, which is you need a lot of sugar. That's why I eat a lot of fruit. Okay? The end. If you eat cooked food after this, try to stick to alkaline ingredients. I definitely agree. I would say if you cook your fruit and vegetables or you eat it raw, doesn't make much difference. Yeah, if you eat raw, you're going to definitely probably feel better and probably look better long term, because you want to have that vibrancy that fruit and vegetables have when they're alive and vibrant. But as far as your health goes, as far as disease goes, I don't see a big difference in cooking fruit and vegetables, especially using wet heat. That would be best, steaming or boiling or what is it, pressure cooking, as opposed to eating them raw. So I know a lot of people tell me, oh, I need warm food. Okay, then fucking warm up your fruit and vegetables. Liars. You know what I mean? Like they tell me they need warm food, so they eat pizza. No, if you need warm food, then have a sweet potato. No, you cannot hide behind, oh, I need to eat crappy food. No, you don't. No, you don't. Bake some apples. Okay? Fruit and vegetables go bad faster, and supplements are all good for months, years. Yeah, Cassandra, years. So always more money to do in stuff that is not fresh anyway. Yes, that is what I was trying to say. There's way more money in things that last a really long time. Okay, so we're all totally good. Oh, thank you. Gina, another question. What are your meal times? What time is the last meal? Okay. Well, this is a great question. Put it in the chat, everyone. What do you think? When do you have dinner? When do you personally have dinner, or when is ideal dinner for you? Okay, put it in the chat, because this is something that I have definitely struggled with. I have mastered the raw food diet, but that doesn't mean I've mastered anything else in my life. So I have struggled with eating late at night my whole life. And personally, I believe the last meal should be eaten before the sun goes down. Oh, yeah, Sybil just said the same thing. Before the sun goes down. For optimal digestion, for optimal sleep, for waking up with a flat stomach. I don't care what I eat. If I eat it late at night, I'm going to wake up the next day and be bloated. So oftentimes, and this is really bad, but oftentimes my roommate and I will stay up late watching Love is Blind, or this new one, Twin Island. I don't know what the fuck we're watching, but we're watching this, and she'll be eating, her French fries or whatever, and I'll grab some grapes and I'll just start eating grapes. Because, you want to just snack on something when you're watching this junk TV. You want to eat some junk food, right? So I get grapes. Okay. And then it's 1 o'clock in the morning and it's just insane. So, I go to bed around 2 and I wake up the next day and I don't feel great. And all I did was eat grapes. So like, it's not just what you eat, it's when you eat. Okay. So yes, sunset is the best. Mangoes at midnight. Is that a song? Is that a #1 song on the radio right now? Oh my God.
Oh, I thought I heard you say it one time. You were saying, oh, maybe I've had mangoes at midnight. I mean, it was on a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, oh, mangoes at midnight. I got to remember that.
Yeah, I definitely have had mangoes at midnight. That sounds like a
If
song.
you like pina
If you like
colada.
mangoes at midnight. Donna, you read my fucking mind. Getting caught in the rain. Okay.
That's because I do eat mangoes at midnight. I do have that same issue.
Yeah.
My whole life I've eaten late at night.
Yeah, so that
even
changes.
if I've already eaten dinner and like all of a sudden it might be late and I'm like, oh, let me have some
Yeah.
nectarine.
That changes now. We're going to start eating earlier and we're going to stop eating before the sun sets. And if you can't because you work, that's fine too, boo. Don't stress. You once ate McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? At midnight. So don't worry about mangoes at midnight, okay? I can't sleep on a full stomach either, Jody. So like that defeats the whole thing about being healthy, right? Even though I'm raw, that doesn't mean that I have it all figured out. Okay, I'm still working on eating earlier and stopping
That's right.
earlier.
Because Jeannette and I have talked about this, because even though I have an issue with it, doesn't mean I agree with it. I intellectually agree with going to bed, not on a full belly, allowing the body to do what it's supposed to do in the nighttime resting zone. But we try.
Yes, we try. And we get better every day. And we are getting better every day. And you just showed up for this Zoom. And so I really appreciate it. And by the way, I just want everyone to know the rules of the challenge. Show up to every Zoom. You don't have to stay the whole Zoom. So, if you have to go to work, you have to go to bed or whatever it is. I just need to see your face because what I'm going to do is on July 1st, when I pick the winners, I'm going to go to the Zooms. I'm going to see, okay, they were there at some point. You know what I mean? So I just want you to know that you don't have to stay the whole time if you can't. I would love for you to. It's usually 2 hours. And soon, in a few minutes, we're going to talk about the book that we've been reading. And maybe you might learn something about this book and maybe you might get inspired to read it. I wanted to answer just a few last questions. So a few last questions, if you have them, put them in the chat or you can raise your hand. Gina did ask earlier, I think, a really good question. She said, regarding food combining, I usually crave salty and then sweet. But I always talk about eating fruit first. Fruit digests the fastest. So like, what does she do? And that's such a great question. I also crave salty and then sweet. For example, I will eat a big, delicious salad with a really good dressing. And then afterwards, and Donna's shaking her head too, because it's just like we were trained since birth to have dessert. So what I personally found is that I have a mini fruit meal before dinner. While I'm making dinner, I'll have some oranges, I'll have a small smoothie, or I'll have some grapes, have an apple with some lemon on it, which is my favorite. I love to put lemon on apple or lemon on grapes. And then usually that will help me to not be craving sweet after my dinner. But even if I do crave sweet after dinner, I will have. So I'll have an apple or I'll have some frozen blueberries or whatever. Guys, again, we used to eat those like marshmallow puffs with the pink on top. You know what I'm talking about? Like we used to eat shit. So having some fucking blueberries after a salad, like let's calm down, calm the fruit down here. Like we ate shit. So like shit would have been healthier. We ate chemicals and toxins. Raw vegan shit would have been healthier. I mean, this is gross to think about, but really. Snowballs. Thank you, Jeremy. I ate snowballs. Like God only knows what is in there. Ooh, frozen grapes. Somebody messaged me frozen grapes. Oh my God, so good. Frozen mame too is so good. If anybody ever has the opportunity to get mame sapote and freeze it as is, that's what I had tonight. No, I had it for lunch. Well, I kind of had 2 lunches. I had some nice cream and then I saw the mame and I was like, oh my God. So I'm really proud of myself today. I have eaten very early. I actually had dinner at like 4. So I'm really, really proud of myself for that, which is wild. I never do that. But then I went out and then I just made it home for the meeting and I'm not eating after this. Nope, no more. I had enough. I had enough calories for today. So, and that is because I started eating earlier. I ate earlier. So then I ate lunch earlier. Then I ate dinner earlier and everything's good. Yeah, Donna?
And for the person who felt like they were going to do the protein powder to feel more full or something, as a person who just got done telling you guys that I like to eat late at night, when I do eat enough, I'm not hungry. You may have to play with that side of your brain as far as, oh, am I just craving it? But really, I'm not hungry after I eat my huge salad. That was a huge salad, and I do put a lot of different things in there, and it does. And I do like the fat dressing. Sometimes not. Just depends on when, and everything depends on when. It's just that's why I roll with it. I think I saw Sybil and Joy say that, and Jeannette always says it. Just roll with it. Because I mean, it's not like we're eating what we used to. But long story short, absolutely, if you eat enough food, you're going to be full.
Thank you so much, Donna. And let me just say, Cassandra, you are definitely on my good side because Kyle asked a question that he should have known the answer to. It's in the email. But Cassandra copy and pasted it into the chat, like pretty cutie with a booty. So thank you. Also, somebody asked a good question. How did the previous winners win? So we have two of the previous winners here, I think. Yeah, Angie and Sybil. Yeah, there she is. Okay, so Angie, hi boo, she's Canadian. She won in the freezing cold of Canada. So Angie, why don't you unmute and tell everyone what's a tip that you could give people on how did you win? How did you stay raw for the whole month of what was the month you won?
December.
Oh my God, in fucking Canada?
Yeah, it was a
Okay,
challenge.
tell us how did you do it?
Well, you know what? I think the biggest reason I did it is because a few months before that challenge, I took Jeanette's raw food course. And I think that's what did it, because it was 6 weeks of motivation. And I mean, that's what helped me. That's what gave me all the tips and tricks I needed to make it through December.
Wow,
I don't know.
Thank you so much. So everyone, you have to take my course or else you're screwed. And yeah, thank you so much. I really loved having the course with you because
That's
like
true,
doing it with
Jeanette,
you.
because there's two
yes,
sides to the approach. You know, it's not just the food. It really is that mental aspect, that mindset, and what we're bringing to the table that way. That really makes a difference too. So I took the course too, and I do agree with that. It really gives you little tips and tricks. Even that book we're reading, which is a sidebar, but there are things in there even that I'm like, hey, that applies to the mindset part of it. Even in chapter 6 a little bit.
I always say it's who's talking?
You're right. It was all the tapping and the manifesting. Like the course itself wasn't just about the raw food. You're right. It was all that other mind work we did. I manifested that juicer every day for 30 days.
Oh my God. Yeah. She won a NAMA J2, just so you guys know. And yeah, I'm so proud of you. And then she also she did other things too, guys. And we'll talk more about this as the weeks go on, but it's not just what you eat. It's like everything affects everything else. So like
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, Angie's
that's when the eating bleeds over into the other aspects of your life. You can't even control it. It just does.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, so Angie went for a walk every day, and it's like, if you stay committed to something, you're gonna stay committed to something else. You're not just gonna go raw for this month and just like everything else is like shit. Like you're not ever gonna move your body, you're not gonna ever meditate, you're gonna start to find that other things you're staying consistent too, because a consistent person is a consistent person. And to stay consistent with the raw food diet, you're going to start becoming consistent in other things too. Okay. So, like, yeah, exercise would be great for you. Just walking, 30 minutes a day, because then it's going to put you in a positive mindset of, I can do this. Whereas if you're on the couch watching Netflix, you're like, I'm tired. I can't do this. You're not motivated. So, like, anything that gets you motivated is going to help you stay raw. And it's just a month. You can go back to eating the shittiest food on earth in 30 days. You know what I mean? 27 days, So let me get through these questions. Wait, how often do you post your food to win? Oh, you just have to post once a day. You can post more, but just once a day. Definitely tag me so I see it. #MisfitVegan, #EatForBeCute. If you don't have an Instagram, you can post on Facebook, but you need to post on one or the other every day, just once a day, either on your story or on your page. Okay, very important. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Okay, next question. I need a speed round because I need a moderator. Judy, we might be giving you a new job. Okay, here we go. How would you know? No, we got this. We got this. Oh my God, Jeremy with these fucking photos. Hold on. I just saw these photos that Jeremy posted. Fruity Cutie of the Year has to go to Jeremy. Guys, come on. Question. How do you know if we attend the Zoom each Monday plus post every day what we eat? Okay. So the way I know is that I see you. I see you. So when I choose the winner, I'm going to choose a winner. But first, before I give you the prize, before I contact you, I'm going to go to the Zooms. I'm going to scroll. I'm going to see, were you there? You don't have to turn your camera on, but I just need to see you that you were there. Okay. So how do we know you post every day and what we eat? Yeah, you have to tag me. If we don't have the same name on Facebook, Instagram, Zoom. Oh, good question. Well, I'm going to contact you by email and clarify. I honestly, yeah, that, That's a good question. So if you don't have the same name on Zoom that you have on Instagram, then do me a favor, send me an email so I know this. Okay? Send me an email. That's a great question. Okay, next. What are the challenge prizes? Okay, we did that. Sybil got her memes. Okay. You don't have to have your camera on. No. I think we're all caught up. Okay. Did I miss any? Meal times. Yeah, just make sure, try to eat before the sun sets, because after the sun sets, our body doesn't want to eat. Our body doesn't want to digest food. Yes. No problem, Cassandra. Just send me an email with your username. That's important because yeah, I'll need to know. Mamey is impossible to get in California. The only option is fruit box. Yeah. Yeah, mamey is pretty hard to get, but you don't need it. Frozen bananas are perfect, as is. No need for mamey until you live somewhere. Personal seedless watermelons. Yeah, sure, eat them. I don't eat them. I don't eat seedless watermelon anymore. Yeah, if I was desperate, but see, where I'm living right now, I'm getting seeded watermelons all year. In New York, I could never find them. And in fact, I am so sorry if you are living in a place that it is just quite expensive to eat this way. Okay, let me tell you what I had to do. I had to get a really good job in New York because the watermelons, I found seeded watermelon. It was $2 a pound. Okay. So I bought a 30-pound watermelon for $60 once. Yeah. Now I'm getting fucking seeded watermelons, giant. I have a 50-pound watermelon. If you stay till the end, I'm going to show you this watermelon. It was $10. So like, I see now it is very difficult. I understand, but I did it for 9 years in New York. I didn't have a lot of seeded watermelon. I had a lot of seedless. I also had a lot of bananas. I had a lot of dried fruit. I had a lot of, the foods that I could get. Melons, a lot of apples and figs and, bananas and things like that. And when you move, then you can have different fruits and it will be different. But will it be easier to eat raw? No. No, it's not easier to eat raw here in Miami. Let me tell you why. Because wherever you go, there you are. And if you find an excuse where you're living now, you'll find an excuse when you move to the tropics. I promise you. I don't know one raw vegan here. Like, it's so easy to eat raw here. It's a joke. It's a total joke. But it's the mindset. Being raw is 90% mindset. Like Donna was saying, like Angie was saying. So like, it's not about what fruit is available. Dude, people living here are super unhealthy. They're eating crap. Why? Because the mindset, first of all, they don't even know about the raw food diet. Second of all, it's just like a toxic mindset. Okay? Addiction. Yeah, thank you, Joy. Addiction. Jeanette, will there be a replay of the Zoom? Yeah, boo boo. Guess what? It's actually live on YouTube now. And shout out to everyone who is live on YouTube watching this. We have about 30 people, and thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate that. If you'd like to join the Zoom, so you can ask me a question, you can join starting next week. You can't be a part of the challenge unless you started on the 1st, but you can join the Zoom. So if you'd ever wanted to ask me a question, this is the month to do it. Wherever you go, there you are. Yes, Renee, thank you for writing that down. Just so you know, Renee, your messages are coming to me, just so you know. Seeded watermelon, yes, very nice. Okay. Go to your local, ethnic market to find seeded watermelon. That's a good one. In New York, food. In Brooklyn. Oh yeah. Okay. So Kyle posted where to find it in Brooklyn. Okay. Yeah. How much are they, Kyle?
I don't remember how much they were. They're maybe like, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't want to like throw a price out there if it's
Yeah.
not the right price.
Because you know what? In Brooklyn, my place was called Sheepshead Bay Fruit and Vegetables, and watermelon was $2 a pound, and I fucking paid it. And it was very crazy, but I had to because that's what I was living in. So, like that's where I was living. So yeah, I got a better job. I had to get paid more money so that I could afford to be raw. And yeah, it's much cheaper here, but it's not easier because there's a McDonald's right across from my house and there's fucking crap everywhere. So it's not easier. It's just different. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes.
I was about to say, yeah, that place, they also have sour sops too. My first time having sour sop was at that place.
Wow.
When,
Oh, you're cutting off a little bit, but yeah, if anybody's in New
yeah,
York, and what part in Brooklyn is it?
It's in, I think it's Flatbush. It's like a Jamaican hood.
Are you in
I
Brooklyn
think
right now?
I think it was Flatbush. Not right now, but I went out there like in September. Yeah, and they had seeded watermelon, they had soursop, they had all that stuff, mama melon.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, pretty cool. Okay. Now Adriana has the last question. If anybody has any other questions, I'll see you next Monday. But Adriana has the last question, which is, do we just post in the Facebook group or on our personal page? Adriana, did you get the email from me? Because if not, send me an email, jd@misfitvegan.com, so I can send you all of the details. You have to post on your Instagram or on your Facebook. If you don't have either, unfortunately, you can't be in the challenge. But you got to post not in the Facebook group, on your personal page, and you got to tag me so I see it. Hashtag Eat for Be Cute and tag me, Jeannette Donofrio, on Facebook or Misfit Vegan on Instagram. Okay, so now we're going to talk for a few minutes about this book. Okay, so we're reading a book called Return to the Brain of Eden. Nicole, I know for a fact that you read your up to chapter 7. Okay, so now can you unmute your ass? Unmute yourself, boo boo, and tell everyone what you have learned this week from this book. And this book, by the way, is so amazing. It talks about our species specific diet, which is fruit. And Nicole is gonna wait. Is Nicole even here? Or, oh, she's here.
I'm
Okay.
here. I'm just on my treadmill right now.
Okay,
if
getting
I
it
sound
in. Getting it
multitasking,
in.
yes.
That's right, boo. So now tell me, did you learn anything? Was there anything interesting in this week's reading?
Well, learned that the right hemisphere of our brain is like way more badass than the left. That was fun. And
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, the right hemisphere is responsible for our creativity and for our, like powers that we used to have. Okay. We're live on YouTube, so let's not get too crazy now. Okay. You noticed I didn't talk shit about any raw vegans. I didn't
You're on your
talk
best
about,
behavior.
yeah, I didn't talk about the earth, the shape of the earth. I didn't say nothing about the earth.
Good girl.
Okay. So, yeah.
You
Also,
can do it. You can make it through the end.
yeah. I got 20 more minutes, but listen. Also, we learned this week in the book about singing is the primary function of the right hemisphere. And listen to this, okay? It is common knowledge that patients who have lost the power of speech via cerebral hemorrhage in the left hemisphere can still sing. Even patients who have had their entire left hemisphere removed can hardly speak, but they can actually sing. Whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy. We learned, well, this book is very fascinating because it talks about why did our right hemisphere stop growing and being predominant, like as far as why is the left hemisphere taken over? And the book explains that it's because we changed our diet. We used to eat a lot of fruit. We used to eat mostly fruit, some greens, and we stopped. And so our right brain stopped functioning properly and our left brain took over. And the left brain is evil. The left brain is the evil motherfucker. Okay, the left brain is the one telling you to eat your addictions. The left brain wants you to smoke weed and I don't know why I brought that up. I've never had weed in my life. Why did I say that? Smoke weed every day. I don't know why that came to me. See, that's the fucking left brain. Okay, that's the left brain. The right brain wants me to be free and wants me to be eating fruit in the sun. And the left brain wants me to be inside playing video games and watching Love is Blind. Okay? Yeah, I've never smoked weed. I've never drank alcohol either, Forrest. I'm a chosen one. Yeah. No. I'm just a lame. I'm a lame. I was taking care of my sister most of my life, so I never hung out. I never had like a fun hookups, all these things. I don't even know what hooking up is. Is that smoking weed? Okay, I don't know. But let's get back to the book. Did anybody learn anything interesting about the book? I'm sharing too much. So, did anybody read the book? Am I on my own here?
I did.
Thank you.
Okay, first of all, it gets fun in this group. That's why you're being all goofy. We get all slap happy. We say pearls of wisdom, and then we get slap happy. And that's the recipe for success, is to have fun while you do stuff.
Yes.
I personally think
perfectly
so.
said.
Okay, so a couple things, and it really leads into one thing at the end. Maybe I should just go to the last part that I find interesting. But bottom line is that we don't know what we can't know. And the reason we can't know it is because part of our dual purpose brain, which is left hemisphere and right hemisphere, which probably used to work together, the left side then became injured and therefore became used more often. And just like a muscle, when you use it and it grows, that side became more dominant out of kind of survival, overthinking and whatnot. And so that right side of our brain, which we can call the freedom of the God brain, because it's giving us that more spacious openness where we can not be entangled in all the thoughts, and we can have some of those aha moments and all those amazing ideas that come to us on a spot or in our sleep. And so it talks about something, let me just get to that. Like, for an example, it says it's only when we stop thinking, where are our keys, that then the whereabout of where they are comes to us. Like once we stop using our brain so much and overthinking. They talked a lot about the multiple personality disorder, which was really interesting because they were saying when the left side was down, the right side was more active. And because of that, you heal. Now, these are multiple, what did I say? Multiple personality disorder. They heal faster. So one of the qualities of them being right hemisphere dominant is that they heal faster. So Jeannette, I think, said one time, hey, go get lost in your right hemisphere. And I love that because it's true. Get lost in your right hemisphere where there's a more open, spacious, healing environment.
Yes, and let's clarify to everybody watching. The right hemisphere is when you're dancing, when you're writing, when you're doing something you love, when you're being creative, when you're crocheting or playing an instrument or learning an instrument, or when you're doing something that just makes you feel alive and happy and gives you pleasure. That is the right hemisphere, and we need to activate that more for faster healing. So this month, don't just eat raw. Do things that you love and that make you feel good, okay? And that's going to help you. Thank you, Donna. Such a good point.
This is another thing where it said that multiple personality disorder, because their right side is more open than the left side, it was saying that they can have, so if they have two personalities, this is just to show you the power of the mind. So one personality might have an ailment, but the other personality inside that multiple personality person, that personality might not have an ailment. So how is that possible that a physical body, and we always think that our diseases are physical and ailment is physical. So maybe one personality can see and the other personality can't see. So it really shows you that it's not concrete and stone, our sicknesses and our ailments and stuff like that. It's not just set in stone in the
I would love
cellular
Sybil's. Yeah, Donna, thank you for bringing that up because when I was reading that, I was like, I wonder what Sybil thinks of this. Because just so you guys know, Sybil's the voice of reason and she thinks the earth is fucking round. And so Sybil, a question. What do you think of that?
About what part?
About the part. No. But about the part where, like, with multiple personality disorders, one disorder, like one personality can see or has a disease and the other one doesn't.
Within the same body.
Are you picking me because my name is Sybil? Just joking.
Oh, that is quiet.
Anyway, I mean, I think they've said with people that have, and I think it's called something else. It's not called multi-personality. They named it something else for the same thing.
Schizotypal or schizotypal. I don't know how that word said. Not schizophrenic. It was like.
No, schizophrenia is not multi-personality. But I think they found that like there is sort of quote unquote the main person, and then there's like these extensions of that one. So that would make sense. And then that all of the different ones kind of personalities serve the main. And they've also found that, from what I've been reading and what I understand about that, is that usually if someone it's called dissociative, blah, 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 whatever, disorder, there's usually a trauma that happens. And so then this thing sort of, the personalities sort of break to protect the main one. So it makes sense that maybe one is blind, but then one can see. Maybe one is male and one is female. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? That, and that they kind of work together to protect the main one.
Okay, so now my question to you is it possible, okay, that makes sense. Is it possible that someone could be told that, no, let me reword this question. I know it's possible. Who is the raw vegan? Can somebody tell me who is there was a raw vegan or someone, maybe it was Deepak Chopra, who got an x-ray of his lungs and he had a tumor there. No, maybe it was somebody else. I don't know, but he had a tumor in his lungs and he freaked out. But turns out, he passed away like a month later. So it wasn't Deepak Chopra. It was someone. What happened is that they later did an autopsy on his body, and it showed that the tumor was there for 30 years, but he didn't know it. And the only reason he passed away is because he fucking was told that he had fucking lung cancer. Did anybody hear about this? Does anybody know about this? I really botched up who it was. Because is it a raw person? Making. Yeah, it wasn't Deepak Chopra, but I think Deepak Chopra said this in a speech. He said it, and he said, so I was thinking that maybe that's what's happening with a lot of people out there that are diagnosed with different diseases and, like even deficiencies, okay? Because hear me out. I can go my whole life being B12 deficient, but if I don't know it, then I'm not going to have any side effects. If I go to the doctor and I get a blood test and it says I'm extremely B12 deficient and I know it, then I might start getting the side effects. It's just possible. These are just things I think about because I heard that story about the tumor.
Degenerative disc problem, like if anybody and everybody went to go get an x-ray or whatever it's called of their back, their spine, it's going to show degenerative. But if you don't know that and you're moving fine and doing everything fine, but the minute someone sees that, they do think, oh my gosh, which is our human nature to probably do that. But so along the lines of exactly what you're saying, Jeannette, is true. And it can also go the opposite. If you tell yourself the positive stuff, because that's something that you push and not push in your class, which I really learned a lot from. For example, in this book, this was really interesting. There was a girl who was hypnotized and they asked her in the hypnotic moment, I don't know what to call it. Anyways, when she was being hypnotized, he said, okay, remember one of your happiest moments, the first one you can remember. And she goes to a memory, so she went to a happy memory, but instead she cried. So here she is crying at a happy memory. And it says that the left side remembered being told that the memory was happy. So that's why she brought up that happy memory right away. But actually the right side experienced fear because her mom fell to the floor in pain or something like that. So it was this dual thing, but she carried through that she was told, hey, this is the happiest moment, your little baby sister is going to be born or something like that. So that makes me think we need to tell the left side of our brain what it should believe. And so eating raw.
Okay, pause right there. Pause right there. Because Donna, that is so fucking good. First of all, that's why I was saying I'm not serious, Sybil, when I say that the left side is evil. But the left side of the brain is the side that says, no, you can't do this. No, you need those French fries. You've never been raw 30 days. You can't do it. There's no way you can do it. But the right side says, yes, I can. And so there's always two conversations going on in your head. There's two voices in your head at all times. And you know what I'm talking about. Okay, everyone here knows what I'm talking about. There's a voice in your head every once in a while that says, you can't do that. Who do you think you are? You've never done that before. You know you can't do that. You're always going to stay sick. You're always going to stay in pain. You're always going to be the fat one. You don't have discipline to do this. And then you have to tell that side of your brain, boo-boo, I'm on a 30-day challenge. Bye. I'm not talking to you for 30 days. Be quiet. I love you. I don't need you right now. I need the right side of my brain, which says I can do this, okay? Which is optimistic, which is positive, which knows that, yes, you might run into challenges, but you can face it. You've done harder things than resist a donut, okay? Some of you guys have given birth. My God, okay? So I don't want to hear that it's too hard because you've done way harder things, all right? So that's really important to note, okay? I have a lot of meditations on YouTube, so utilize them to activate the right side of your brain, which knows that you can do this, which is positive, and quiet the left side, which is in fear. And I wanted to read that real quick, okay? It talks about the fear and the left side of the brain. And it says, there are subtle pathways within the brain and the body that link consciousness to biochemistry. One investigation into the effects of mantra, intonation, visualization, and deep meditation, okay, by a neuroscientist found that melatonin levels increased by 1,000% after a day of engaging in these practices. Right then, I just want you to know that is crazy. If anybody here is having trouble sleeping, meditation, visualization, and doing mantras, a mantra that helped me and they're probably talking about chanting, but a mantra that helped me is to say over and over and over again, I am so happy and grateful now that I sleep straight through the night and I always wake up energized and refreshed. And I said it thousands of times until it actually worked. So just a heads up. Blah, 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 blah. This could potentially initiate a negative feedback loop. Oh, okay, wait. So let me go back. These changes may be good. Meditation can enhance your well-being, obviously, and well-being can enhance health, but the feedback loop can work the other way as well. If there is a sense of self that is innately fearful, okay, so if you're living in fear, if you're watching the news all the time, if you're, just focusing on everything that's wrong and, all the fucking things that could go wrong by eating healthy food, iodine, you know what I mean? Like just the fear of, oh my God, will I become deficient if I eat the healthiest food on the planet? Okay. If there's a sense of fear, it will feed back into its own neural generator and change in biochemistry. This could potentially initiate a negative feedback loop. The greater the biochemistry or structure damage, the more fear, which can in turn lead to more structural damage. Something like this may be responsible for the decline in functioning of our left hemisphere, and this process would also be contributing to the hemispheric divergence. In effect, our controlling sense of self damages our own generator and shuts out the other, blah, blah, blah. Okay, basically what they're saying is it works both ways, just like Donna said. You're going to say positive things to yourself, things are going to get better. You're going to get more positive. You're going to say negative things to yourself, you're going to get more negative. So if you say to yourself, I can't lose weight no matter what, well, then guess what? You can't lose weight no matter what. If you say to yourself constantly, consciously or subconsciously, this is so hard, I can't be raw. It's too hard, I can't do it. You cannot do it. That's how powerful your mind is. Sybil, yes, my boo. Spread some light on this situation.
Spreading light, but there is like a whole mode of therapy that's based in this. It's called cognitive behavioral therapy, and it's literally about changing your thoughts. And I've done it myself. I've been through it. My daughter's been through it for just different things. But that kind of the strength of the mind is so incredibly powerful. You can literally talk yourself into a straight up tizzy, like straight up
panic attack
where it feels like you're gonna die. And you can talk yourself off the ceiling. And it was really interesting, like something like that happened to me today. It wasn't a panic attack, but so I got all my fruit and I thought I got enough ripe fruit. And
I saw the mangoes.
Yeah, I got the mangoes. So this was today that when I woke up. So there was the most edible fruit today were grapes, strawberries, and bananas. Well, I happen to know that for me, I have to eat a lot of grapes to feel satisfied. I have a bunch of bananas. They're not quite ready. This is a long point. I'm going to try to shorten it up. The thing that was the most ripe today were bananas. Well, for me, I know that in order for me to feel satisfied, the quickest way for me to do that would be to eat bananas. But it was just the weirdest thing that just went off in my head today, which I knew was absolutely a lie. It's like, you can't eat all those bananas. That's just too many bananas. You can't do that. It's not enough variety. You can't eat all those bananas. And I'm just like, where is that coming from? Because I know that's not true. I was on retreat with you. I probably ate, I don't even know how many bananas I ate in those 3 days or 2. I ate a ton of bananas. When I was in Costa Rica, oh my gosh, we ate like 7 varieties of bananas without even thinking about it. So something just crept in and my mind kept saying, well, you're going to have to figure out something else to eat. You're going to have to, because this isn't ripe and this isn't ripe and that's not going to fill you up. And I'm thinking, what the heck is this? So just to kind of walk through that, because I started to then believe it and I started to panic. I'm like, oh my gosh, well, because I don't have any grains in the house. All those are gone. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Greens aren't going to fill me up. And I'm thinking, okay, step back. You know that if you eat those 5 bananas, you're going to be absolutely fine. You're not going to go into like some diabetic shock. You're not going to die. You're going to feel satisfied and great. And you've done this before. So the thing that you're saying is not true. So it's really interesting how the mind spins. But then I also know my own technique of then asking myself, is it true? And sort of using those techniques to talk myself up, off this ledge, like not literal, but it felt like that. But that is like that strong hold for whatever reason that the left brain had. And I ate the 5 bananas. I had some strawberries with it, but that wasn't the bulk of it. And I was fine, like for hours. So it's just weird. Like it pops up in different times. And it's unfortunately for our society, it's normal. It's not like this is abnormal. And it's interesting to be just really aware of the stuff that your mind comes up with. And I even have said to students and clients, just because you have a thought doesn't mean it's true.
Judy, write that down. Judy's about to send the recap. That's got to be the last thing. I'm sorry. Just because your mind says it doesn't mean it's true. That is so fucking gold. Yeah, that's it. Were you done, Sybil? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that was just really good.
No, I'm done. That was just kind of
so Sybil, I did notice, I did definitely see those mangoes. Sybil got a bunch of beautiful looking mangoes and she knows how to pick them out. And they were not ripe. I mean, they were rotten. They were rotten inside. And they were definitely ripe. They had all the signs. They probably smelled, right, Sybil? They probably smelled great.
Yes, they did.
Yep.
They did.
And, that is part of the raw food lifestyle. It's a live food and it's not going to be perfect. And you're going to have all the signs that it is ripe and you're going to bring it home and it's going to be rotten. And that has happened to me so many times. And so this is why I always try to have as much ripe fruit as possible. And of course, backup, frozen bananas as backup, frozen fruit as backup. That's going to happen this month. And you know what? The only way for you to succeed and actually maybe even win this challenge is to have backup. You need to have backup. Okay. And I just want everyone to know it's going to happen to you. It's part of the natural lifestyle. You're not eating things from a bag. You're not eating plastic anymore. You're eating real food, which sometimes is rotten, even though it had all the signs. Happened to me too today, Sybil, and I almost sent you a photo. I did take a photo to send you. I had a mango that was so fucking beautiful, perfect looking from the outside. Opened it up, rotten on the inside. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. So that's going to happen and it's part of the process. And you know what? It is, you have to accept it. You have to accept it. And I also I remember having those thoughts when I first started eating a lot of fruit. Like, this is too much. I had those thoughts because it was strange. It was unfamiliar for me in the beginning. And if you're used to putting half a banana in a smoothie, 5 bananas is gonna be wild. Meanwhile, to me, that's a small smoothie, 5 bananas, 8 to 10 is like, okay, that's a meal. That's a real fucking meal. But 5 bananas is like nothing. But to someone else, half a banana, that's enough. Or like 1 is going to be, wow, that's a lot. 2 bananas is a lot. So just know that if it's not familiar, that's the only reason it's uncomfortable. And you're going to form new neural pathways in your brain that tells you, oh, this is not too much. Okay. Wait, last thing is Donna said, by the way, I heard that specifically the variety called Eastern cantaloupe is always ripe enough to cut open as soon as you buy it. Impossible. Eastern cantaloupe? What is this? Oh, she's going to show us. What is it, GMO? It's always ripe? Wait, let's unmute first. And I'm going to put you as a spotlight.
I was one time at the store, Sprouts, I think it was, a long time, I think 2 years ago. And the guy had told me there was cantaloupe, the regular kind. And then I said, oh, what's this? And he said, oh, that's Eastern cantaloupe. And that's when I had found out that they're basically, now have I tested it out? I don't know. I still kind of wait and see if it gets softer than the other ones, but it's supposed to be, it looks a little different than a regular cantaloupe. It has more little webbing, like, and they are supposed to be ripe whenever you cut them, I guess. Like,
wow.
Or at least when you buy them. Yeah, when you buy this one's tomorrow.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I'm going to look for them. I'm going to ask around. I wanted to, before we read Judy, thank you, Donna. Before we read Judy's recap, I'm going to say, first of all, I think Brianna and Sybil were at the retreat. I think that's it, right? Yeah, nobody else is from the retreat here. Oh, Paris. Wait. Oh, Paris is here. Yeah. So can you guys remind me, because somebody had this bag, and I think it was Brianna. Tell me now, who had this bag at the retreat?
Not me.
Oh, it wasn't you,
It
Sybil.
was
Okay.
me.
Okay.
It was me. I got it at the dollar store, right?
Yeah. Listen, you don't understand. Okay, so I saw this bag at the retreat, and I was like, I didn't know whose bag it was. I saw it on the beach, and I was like, oh my God, I love this bag. Oh, yeah, it was yours, Brianna. And I was like, oh my God. And I was just so busy, I forgot to ask you where you got it. I was like, oh, how is this? How do you have something I don't have? Watermelon. Well, guess what? Fucking Tara, I go to my P.O. box today, and this bag that I loved, that I really wanted, was in the P.O. box, and she sent me some other goodies too. And so I just want to say thank you, Tara, for this. Look at this, guys. I have this bag. So, Brianna, you're not the only one. I have a watermelon fucking water bottle. Okay. All this cute stuff. And it just made me so happy. And this bag is so gorgeous. And you don't understand. I saw it just 2 weeks ago. And I was just so busy that I didn't have time to ask Brianna where she got it from. And now I have my own. So manifest. This is going to go in my journal tonight because I like to write proof of the law of attraction every night. I like to write 3 proofs of the law of attraction. And that is proof that the law of attraction is real. That is so gorgeous. And when my roommate saw it, she was like, Jeannette, you better not dirty this bag. You better not, because it is so cute. It's white. She knows me. If I put fruit and vegetables in it, I'll get it dirty. So no fruit and vegetables in this. This is going to be my everyday bag. I love it. Thank you so much, Tara. That really made my day. And I'm so, so grateful. And I love it. Oh, and yeah,
you make me smile all the time. So I just saw it in the store and I was like, oh, this makes me so happy. I want to make her smile. So
I love it. And I am going to use this every day. I cannot wait to get rid of all my other crappy non-fruity water bottles. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You know how I feel about watermelon accessories. Whew. And okay, so that is that. Oh, here we go, Judy. Perfect timing. So let's recap everything we learned today. And thank you guys for staying till the end. Now, I know there's a lot of people on YouTube as well. If you want to join, send me an email. I put my email in the live chat. You can come and join me for the month of June, okay? Recap. Answers to comments you will be asked. Okay, wait, hold on. Judy, you already lost me. Wait. Answers to comments oh yeah, okay, here we go. Do not take anyone seriously if you wouldn't trade places with them. Don't take comments personally. Be kind and friendly when answering questions. Oh yeah, because like 2 hours ago, we talked about the questions you're going to get asked the whole goddamn month and the rest of your life if you're going to stay raw. Protein. Protein is like the number one thing. Okay. Optimism will be the driving force to get you through this month. Yes, you got to stay positive. You can do this. I understand sometimes you're going to crave foods, but like that doesn't mean you have to eat them. Okay? Things are going to smell good. Things are going to look good. It doesn't mean you have to eat them. You can enjoy, you can say, that smells so good. Okay. You don't have to eat it. Right? It's just like, sometimes you want to punch somebody in the face. You don't do it. Hopefully. Don't punch me in the face, please. That's just what I need the face. Okay. You are making progress even though you don't see it. That is a fact. Write these things down. These are very good things to remember. Honey is to nurture baby bees, you selfish motherfucking vegans. Oh, sorry. Something fell. Okay. Where's Vicky? Stealing. Vicky's a woman of God. And I just cannot believe she's not here anymore. So I'm going to talk shit. Oh, we're on YouTube. I cannot believe that you would steal baby bees' food. Isn't there enough fruit and vegetables in the world? Disgusting. Too much protein causes disease. Yeah. You heard of Alice in Wonderland? Everything's backwards. They tell you go left, you should go right. They tell you it's up to go down. They tell the mainstream society will say, you need more protein. You'll give you more muscles. Well, guess what? More protein gives you more disease, boo. If they tell you to go left, make sure you take a right. Okay. Get blood tests to check for deficiencies before supplementing. That is my personal opinion. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not a doctor, clearly. I just collect watermelon accessories for a living. But Wouldn't that be amazing if I was a doctor, guys? Oof, I really should go to medical school. Judy, I think you should pay for me to go to medical school. I'm going to cancel that check. How amazing would that be? You train your body how to keep the weight off, okay? Everything affects everything else in your life. Book recap. Singing is right brain function. Tell the left brain what to think. Right brain is fun, dancing, creative. Left brain is evil. Yes, well, Judy's entire brain is evil, I think. I don't know. You see that smile? Like she's so devious. She's up to something. No, but the left brain is a fucking asshole. Don't listen to it. I'm so happy and grateful now that I ... That's the magic phrase that Bob Proctor taught me, okay, before he passed. I'm so happy and grateful now that whatever you want, say it with that magic phrase before it and just keep saying it over and over again. And something really, really important that you might want to start saying is, I can do this. It's so easy to be raw. I love eating healthy. I love working out. I love eating raw. Trust me, it's going to really help you. And finally, just because you think something doesn't mean it's true. Unless you think I'm amazing, then it is true. It is 100% true. Thank you, Brianna, for being here. Thank you, Fruity Cutie Judy, for being here with the booty. I'm still working on my booty. Angie, Donna, Tara, Paris, Nicole. Thank you for being here. Jeremy Boo with the eggplant. Okay, listen, the only reason I brought that up is because somebody asked earlier about Eric. I didn't get a chance to tell her before she left. Eric quit, and so did Matt. Matt just quit. I can't hold on to a man unless it's Jeremy. That's why I'm saying thank you, Jeremy, for being here still, because I don't know. I'm a man repellent, apparently. So yeah. No, but Matt quit because of some bullshit excuse. I just remembered we're live on YouTube, so I'm sure he'll see this maybe, and then it was an excuse, whatever. Like scheduling, whatever. I can't hold on to a man except Jeremy. So Jeremy, please, you can't quit. You cannot quit. You can't. And I don't think you will, because I saw those photos from your birthday. Like you're here. You're here for yeah, right? Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. If there's any guys that would like to join Misfit Mondays, we are taking eggplant applications. Eggplant's a fruit, remember? And I'll see you guys in the next episode, next Monday. Bye, boo. Can you believe that? Yep.
How much are we reading for next week?
Oh, Judy. I'm trying to not read this book anymore, Judy.
Me too.
It stressed me out. Okay, guys. Yeah, good question. How about we do ourselves a favor? We're going to read until chapter 8. So we're going to read chapter 7, Nicole's favorite, Drugs, the Brain, and the Peak Experiences. And then we're going to read until chapter 8.
Okay.
Thank you, Judy. Oh, I was hoping you would forget about that. Okay, it's a few pages. It's literally like 20 pages. Thank you, Judy, for keeping us in school, in Fruity Cutie University. Love you guys. Bye. Thanks for watching on YouTube, and I will see you next Monday, or not before then. Maybe before then. We'll see. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sybil. Thank you, Paris. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.FitVegan.
Ooh, thank you, anonymous user with the sexy voice.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't get my name on there. I was trying to get on Zoom, but my name is Angela Hutchins, and my email is realsister@gmail.com.
Yes, I know you.
66. Yes. And I'm going to try to get my Facebook post to you. I'm trying to still learn how to do all of that tagging, but thank you so much for all your nutritional information. I love it.
Thank you for being here. I love you. Thank you for being here.
All right. Take care. Till next week.
Till next week. Bye. I just attract the nicest, most amazing people. It's crazy. It is crazy. Thank you guys for being here. I will see you next Monday. Stay raw and don't eat anything I wouldn't eat. Okay? Bye. Bye, boo.